Alright, so we're going to look at chapter 6, question 2 of the extended response. So that's on page 264. Okay, so question 2 says you have there's a proposal to provide a more efficient, more environmentally system where you can, where we use public transport by using electric taxis. Alright, so that's all just the blurb. We've got a graph given us. The y-axis is velocity, so meters per second, that the taxi will maintain if it is driven at a constant speed in such a way that all its energy is used up in t seconds. So t seconds is the x-axis. So look at the graph that you're given on that page. So and you're told that the curve is a section of the parabola which touches the t-axis at t equals 900 when t equals 0, v equals 25. Okay, so that's all that info there. So part A is construct a rule for v in terms of t. So that graph, you need to find an equation for that graph given. So let's write down the info we have. We know that when t equals 900, you can see from the graph there's no energy, or in other words, it's on the t-axis. So in other words, you have the point 900, 0. Okay, and because it's no energy, that is the turning point. And the reason why it's the turning point is because it says that it states that in the question it uses up all the energy. Okay, so that's the turning point. We know the equation for a parabola is v equals a t minus 900 squared, and it'll be plus 0 because the turning point is 900, 0. Now what we need to do is we need to find the value of a. How do we do that? We need to have another point on the curve, and we've got another point on the curve, and that is 0, 25. If you look at the curve. So we use the point, you look at the graph they've given you, 0, 25, so that's your t value. That's the v value. And we sub this in to find a, and therefore to find the equation. So we sub it into the equation above. So 25 equals a, 0 minus 900 squared. You can put the plus 0 if you like. I'm just going to leave out the plus 0. If you rearrange that, 900 squared, negative 900 squared, and you divide by that on the other side, you get a equals 25 over, and I have to just work this out. Use your calculator. I would expect you to do this by hand in your head. And that simplifies to 1 over 32,400. Now that's all good. That's the value of a, not the final answer. You need to then sub that into the equation above. So our final answer is, and I'll just make it smaller so you can see. So therefore the answer for part A, after all that, is v equals 1 over 32,400 t minus 900 squared. So that's the answer for part A done. Okay, so that's A, construct a rule for v in terms of t, done. Part B. Let's make this up a bit. Part B says if s meters is the distance that a taxi can travel before running out of electrical energy, write a rule connecting s and t. Okay, so if we look at velocity, right? Velocity is the units are meters per second. Okay, so in other words, we have, so it's meters per second, or in other words, we have s divided by time. Yeah, because velocity is meters per second, so velocity equals s divided by t, right? So what do we have? We have the equation we've got above for velocity. Okay, so we know velocity equals, velocity equals, I won't rewrite the equation, but we've got that equation there. Now this we can actually write as S equals V times T. I'm just rearranging that there. Now the actual answer to this is actually the same as what V is. So the actual answer is S equals 1 over 32,400 T minus 900, all that squared. So that's the answer there, because the question asks you to write an equation for S connecting S and T. Now some people say, well, how did you get that? It's actually in the wording of the question. So if we just look back at the question, it says, read the question again, we go back, it says, if S meters is the distance that a taxi can travel before running out of electrical energy. Right, okay, so before running out of electrical energy. Now, and if you go back to the question right at the top, it says, in the I think it's the third or fourth last line, the taxi will maintain if it is driven at a constant speed in such a way that it uses all of its energy up in T seconds. So what does all that mean? It's really interpreting what all that means. What all that means is that T is time. We know that. T is time. And when all the energy is used, I'll write all this down. When all the energy is used, you don't need to write this down, I'm just writing it down so you can see. Energy is used, V is actually constant. The velocity doesn't change. So, so that's why this equation is actually the same as that one there, because this stays constant. Okay, a bit tricky, but it's really in the wording of the question. It's basically saying that this equation here is the same as the one above, because when all the energy is used, the velocity is constant. It doesn't change. All right, let's have a look at C. Now C is using part B. This one you might have to have a little bit think about, but it's just the wording, the way the question is actually worded. This one here, it's actually just asking you to graph this. So part C is, you have to use your Ch6 to do that. Wouldn't expect you to do it by hand. So you'd graph it. So it asks you to graph S, I think S is meters, yep, versus time in seconds. And if you graph this equation here using your Ch6, you end up getting a curve that looks like that. Put your endpoints in, so that's 0. I got that was 900. That's an intercept there. You should find the maximum, okay, using your Ch6. If you're not sure how to do that, please ask me, but just finding a maximum point. I think I got, you can probably find it as an exact value, but I think I got something 0.3. I think it continues on recurring. Something like that. Okay, so that's the graph. You can probably put the point down there. All right. And actually that's actually not the midpoint. It's a very bad graph. But I should have drawn this a little bit further out. So that's not the midpoint, but it's where it does turn. Okay, so you only expect to be able to do that using your Ch6. Okay, part D. I'll just do it over on this side. Asks for originally power sources were to be located at 2 kilometer intervals. However, there is a further proposal to place them at 3.5 kilometer intervals. Is this new distance feasible? Or is it possible, yeah? Okay, I got no, it's not possible. Now, how do I know that? Because what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the distance. So if I look at this graph, I'm looking at the maximum distance. So I'm looking at the maximum y value, in this case, the maximum s value. So from my graph, the maximum distance is this y value. So 3,333.3 meters. Because that's in meters. You can write that in kilometers if you like. That's about 3, because this is recurring, it's actually 3 1/3 kilometers. Okay, so because 3 1/3 kilometers is a lot smaller than 3.5 kilometers, it's not possible. Okay, so 3.5 kilometers is not possible because the maximum is smaller than that. So that's part C. Let's have a look. What does part D ask? Part D, let's have a look at it now. I actually meant part E because I just did part D. Part E asks, with the power sources at 2 kilometer intervals, use your graph to determine approximately both the maximum and minimum speeds recommended for the drivers. Explain your answer. Okay, so let me just do E over here. Okay, so the power sources are at 2 kilometer intervals. Okay, so let's say if the power sources are at 2 kilometer intervals. Okay, that's what the question is saying. If the power sources are 2 kilometers intervals, we need to find what are the maximum and minimum speeds. So I'm going to call that as the maximum and the minimum. Maximum and minimum speeds. Okay. So this is where you use your graph. Okay, and you'd use your CAS. Okay, so using your CAS again. Okay, and you look at the graph. Okay, at S equals 2,000 meters. Why am I doing 2,000? It's 2 kilometers. All right, we get, and you'd use your CAS to do this. If you're not sure how to find the X values, you can ask me, but you can use your CAS easily to do that. You could use solve, or you could draw a straight line. You do it a few different ways using your CAS. You get 2 t values. You get 105. Remember, time is in seconds. And the other one, you get t. These are like your x-intercepts. You get 560 seconds. All right. So what you need to find from that. What you need to find from that is you need to find your Vmax and your Vmin. Vmax and Vmin, the units for that are meters per second. Yep. So here we've got the time. We've got the S value. Our S value for both of them is 2,000 meters. So they're coordinates. Okay. So when S equals 2,000, you get 105 seconds, and you have 560 seconds on the graph. So these are 2 sets of coordinates. We need to find what is the velocity. So velocity is just, if you look at the units, is just meters divided by seconds, meters per second. So I'm just going to write it out. For T1 equals 105 seconds. Vmax 2,000. Now you don't know which one's the max or min. I know because I've worked them out already, but you could just work them out, and then by looking at the numbers, you'd be able to see which is the min and which is the max. So the first one, I'm just doing S divided by the time, because that's the units for velocity. So 2,000, I'll make this a bit smaller so you can see what I've got above. 2,000 divided by 105, so that's the first one over here. Okay, I get about 19 meters per second. For the second one, T2, should call that T2, where I have 560 seconds. This is actually my Vmin. You wouldn't know which one's the Vmin or Vmax until you've actually worked out the actual answers. So we've got 2,000, you'll compare it in a minute, divided by 560, and we get 3.6 meters per second. And you can clearly see this one is a smaller number, so that's why this one here is your Vmin. And there you go. So your Vmax and your Vmin speeds are these 2 numbers. Okay, so that's question 2 done.